All right, we're about to get the show started, and we are going to start by taking a look at the economic calendar. And what we can see from the economic calendar right now is that we have some data that's going to be dropping this week. We have Tuesday consumer confidence that's going to be coming out at 10 a.m. Wednesday, we have the FOMC statement. So that is a big one on Wednesday. So Wednesday, FOMC. So be sure to lock in for that. And then on Thursday, you have the GDP numbers plus also the PCE as well. And then on Friday, you also have some data dropping. So it's going to be an important week, obviously, with Wednesday being the most important with FOMC. And right now, the market expects the Feds to hold the rates, so there shouldn't be a change in the interest rate. But with everything that's been going on with the war, Iran, and whatnot, you you never really know, right? So as of now, what we're looking to see if the rates actually do hold. So that's what we're going to be looking at this week. Now, if we go into earnings, this week is very, very crazy with regards to earnings. Now, I want to know in the chat, if you can just type in the chat, based on all of these companies that are dropping earnings, which one are you going to be looking at? This week, we have Verizon that's going to be dropping earnings tomorrow on Monday. For all of you pizza lovers, Domino Pizza is also going to be reporting. But then you have UPS, Spotify, GM, Visa, Robinhood, Seagate, all on Tuesday. Now, let's talk about Seagate a little bit. Seagate is in the AI data storage space. And if you've been paying attention to the AI, is it Joe Moody, you're going to be paying attention to Seagate. If you've been paying attention to the data storage stocks like SanDisk, Seagate, Teradyne, these stocks have been crushing it. So I think Seagate on Tuesday is definitely one you want to be paying attention to. If you love chocolate like Cadbury, Mondelez is also going to be reporting on Tuesday. Wednesday, you have SoFi, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Qualcomm, Chipotle. This week is stacked, guys. So if you just look at the Wednesday stocks after market close, you pretty much have, I think, four of the magnificent seven reporting Wednesday, which is also the same day that FOMC is dropping. So clearly, Wednesday is going to be a big day. And then on Thursday, you have Apple and then SanDisk. So let's touch base on SanDisk a little bit. SanDisk, hey Sterling, what's up? SanDisk was the top performing stock in 2025. They did ridiculous. And as of year to date, 2026, SanDisk is still number one. Okay. So SanDisk is also within the AI data storage space, and they've been crushing it the past 18 months. You also have Eli Lilly, the big pharmaceutical company that's going to be reporting earnings on Thursday. And then on Friday, you have the oil guys. You have Chevron, Exxon Mobil dropping, and then pharmaceutical side, you have Moderna. So no need to say that this week, from an earnings perspective, is stacked. It's pretty much a case of take your pick. So because we have so many reporting, I just want to look at three. I'm tempted to do two within the AI data storage. You said we'll look into Seagate. Big Joe is also looking at Seagate, so we'll have Seagate on the list. I'm tempted to also want to look at SanDisk during this live, but you have Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, and Alphabet, Qualcomm, all reporting as well. So because I'm going to only review three, I will open it up to people in the chat to pick the next two. So we have Seagate as number one. Just drop in the chat which one you want us to look at now. And as you guys are doing that, we will pull up TradingView and we will get going. We will get going on those. So let me see what you guys pick, and then we will go with those. SoFi. Okay. What's up, Eddie? How are you doing? So we'll do SoFi, we'll do Seagate, and I'm just waiting for one more. All right. So while we wait for the next one, we'll keep the train moving. So if we look into the fear and greed index, obviously right now the market is at all-time high. So as you can see, we're like at 66 in terms of greed. So now we're extremely bullish. We're just 1 point lower than last week. Last week we were at 67. So we're pretty much in the same place we were from last week. So not much has changed with regards to that. So that's interesting. So I'm gonna go over to TradingView, and the idea now is we want to take a look into the charts and then see what we have over here. All right, so let me know if you guys can see TradingView. So just let me know in the comments if you guys are all good and if you can see TradingView, because I just want to make sure you can see it. Today I'm using a different interface, but I think you guys can. So we'll dive into it. So we're going to start off with Seagate. So Seagate's ticker symbol is STX. And remember what I was telling you, that these stocks have been crushing it. Take a look at Seagate. So about a year ago, this stock was trading at $60. So let me actually go on the monthly so that you can see it. So you can see April 2025, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, pretty much give or take. A year later, 600. 10x growth in literally a year. So if you had these before, congratulations to you. Or if you've been able to ride this wave to the upside, good to you. Now just take a look at the growth this month alone. This stock has almost doubled this month from 395 to 606. So if we hit, 700, close to 800. So if we go 200 bucks more, we would have doubled in about a month. But if you just look into the percentage growth over the past month, this stock is up 60%, $220. All right. So what levels are we going to be looking at for this stock getting into earnings? So there's a key important point here that I'm just going to mark out and do that. So right now, our all-time high on Seagate is 610. And what we're going to be looking to see if their earnings come good. If their earnings come good, we could see Seagate make a run to 740. So there is the potential, if you're going in on contracts that expire in 60 days, 90 days, or even a year, depending on what you want to go for, the 740 calls are going to look very, very interesting. And you guys know that this is all for educational purposes, right? So all the levels that we're going to be sharing here are just for educational purposes only. I'm not giving you guys investment advice. I'm not giving you guys trading advice, but I'm just doing some technical analysis and identifying where the stock could go to. If we do drop, we'll be looking at this 480 level. So 480 is going to be a key level for the price. But if we do range, 740. So you have a really good range up or down. So even if the earnings don't come good and we're selling off, you can still catch a decent move to the downside. If we're raging, the 740 calls is going to be what I would be looking for on Seagate. All right. So those are really the levels that we're looking for on Seagate. Now let's go to SoFi. And before we get started with SoFi, I just want to take a look and see if anybody else added another stock. So we don't have anything else yet. So we'll do SoFi, and then if we don't have anything, we will just take a wild card and go with that. So we have a demand zone on SoFi right around this $12 area, and you can see price has been dropping. If we do retrace, and I'll put it something like this. So if we do retrace to the upside, so if we do go up, we can go from where it's at right now, which is 18 to about 24. So that could be a nice bullish move to the upside for you. But if we continue retreating, we do have a key liquidity level now that's been set over here. So we're going to be looking at like 15. So we'll be looking to see if price comes back to 15. If we break 15, we could drop down to 12. Or if we continue going up, 24 would be the target on SoFi. Okay. So these are the levels that I'll be looking for on SoFi. I'll be looking for price to either drop down to this 15 level. If we continue going down, we'll go down to 12. Or if we break the $20 range, we're going to go to 24. So right now, Eddie, what we'll be looking to see is, do we break this $20 range? If we break this $20 resistance, there's potential that we can go all the way up to 24. So that could be the nice clean move to the upside that you could catch. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Now, in terms of the wild card, I'm gonna, just do a pick between Meta, Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet, because those are the big ones that are going to be dropping. Now, Amazon, I did a video specific for Amazon on my YouTube channel, so you guys can see it. So we're not going to do Amazon. Meta. Let's do Eli Lilly, and I'll explain to you why I picked Eli Lilly. Now, there's a lot happening within the pharma side, especially if you're kind of like in the weight loss space. And then I'm just going to remove some of these levels on Eli Lilly. But Eli Lilly has been interesting for a couple of reasons. We have this key demand zone level that price can go and attack. We've been on a bearish move for some time, and you can see we dropped into the fib retracement, manipulated it, and now we are continuing to go down. So if we do continue to go down, what we are going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for price to come to this like 840 level. Right now we're at 880. So we're looking for price to come around this 840, 837 level. But in a perfect world, we would actually want price to actually come closer to like 810, right? So it's going to be a bearish move to the downside. If we do go up, this 975 level is going to be key, but we also do have this 960 level that I think market makers my target. So 956, 960 range is going to be what I'm going to be looking at. But if we continue dropping, we'll be looking for price to come down to this 840 level. If we do go up, we're going to be looking for price to come into this 960 level. So those are going to be the levels that I'm going to be looking for on Lilly. And obviously, as we get closer to earnings, for those of you guys in my Discord group, we're going to be looking a little bit closer into these levels. But that's kind of like what we're going to be looking for. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to round up by looking into futures. Normally on Sunday around 8 o'clock, I like to trade the Asia Open. So we will use the next few minutes to identify some key levels. So I'm going to look into two assets. I'm going to look into gold and MNQ. Today I will not do ES because I do ES all the time. So today we'll kind of like give ES a little bit of a break. So I'm sorry to my ES traders. So if you look into NQ, right, you can see that price is kind of like hitting this fib retracement level. At the 6 a.m. open, massive sell-off to the downside. Okay. Now, if we do continue going down, and obviously you want to pay attention to the news, what's happening to oil prices, the whole geopolitical event, that's probably what's causing this reaction. What we just want to pay attention to is how price respects this fib level. So if we go down to, let's say, even a 5-minute, since you're going to be looking to maybe take a trade, the key levels that you want to see is, number one, does price respect this level here, 27,700, and then we have this key support level. That's a key liquidity area. So there is that potential that market makers might also target that level as well. So for me, what I'm going to be looking for is, do we break this? If we don't break this, we're most likely going to run down to this level. But if we do break it, we have this massive gap over here. And we also do have this supply zone on a 5-minute. So we'll be looking for price to come into this supply zone. All right. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on NQ. So those are going to be the levels that I'm going to be looking for in about 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, I want to see, do we respect this level? If we respect it, we're most likely dropping to this level. If we break it and we hold to the upside, we're most likely targeting this level. Okay? So those are the levels that I'm going to be looking for. Now, if we go to gold, which was the second asset that I want to look at, Nylene, you do the analysis and drop it in the Discord. You're part of my community, so I can take a look at your levels. So if you're doing ES, take a look at ES and then drop it into Discord, and then we'll take a look. It's most likely going to look very, very similar to NQ anyway. So you've seen what we've done with NQ. So feel free to do your analysis. And like I said, I'll take a look at it if you drop it in Discord before 8. Because at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be locked in the Asia session. So now if we take a look into gold, so obviously gold has been moving and reacting to everything that's going on in the market. So I actually want to take a much more higher level approach to this, because I might actually decide to trade gold as opposed to NQ. And that's something that you want to do when you're trading, is you want to be looking at different assets and see which one gives you the best opportunity. So right now, from what I can see, massive demand zone on gold right here. So if we do drop into this level, this is a really, really good level for you to take an entry to the upside, right? So if you see gold drop to this 4668 level, this could be a really good level for you to enter long. And then if you do enter long, if we actually do drop into that area, we do have this as a supply zone. So we're going to be looking for gold to potentially come into this area right here. Okay. So that's kind of like the range that I'm looking for gold to move. So between 4739 and this 4668 level. Now, if we drop down into kind of like lower time frame, so you can see I've dropped down to like a 15-minute time frame. When we do drop down to kind of like these lower time frames, I just want to move this a little bit closer. So there we go. Because I want to be looking at it from a 15-minute for my execution. You can see we also do have some key levels. So I just want to mark out some key levels. We have a key liquidity level right here on gold. So you might see price run up to that level over there. So if you see price come down to this 4681 level, that could also be a good entry point for you to go long. So you might see price do something like that. All right. So you want to see continuation. But what I also do see here is we have this demand zone right here, which is where price went into. Right. So we might see this demand zone push price back up. And then if it pushes price back up, this is the supply zone you could potentially target. But before we even get all the way to that supply zone, we could see price come to this level. So what we could essentially target on gold, or at least what I'm going to be looking for, remember this is just for educational purposes, is I want price to come into this demand zone and push price into this retracement zone. If we continue going down beyond this demand zone, we'll be looking for price to come and sweep this liquidity down here, and then from that liquidity sweep, look for price to go up. That's if we see a bullish move on gold. All right. So these are the levels for you guys that we've looked at. As I mentioned this week, the key drivers is going to be the economic data. We have FOMC that's going to be dropping on Wednesday and economic data throughout the week. Let's pay attention to the news and some of the geopolitical stuff. The stuff happening in Iran is still very, very active and very, very relevant. And then lastly, we have earnings from a lot of big players. We have like maybe 5 out of the 7 magnificent 7 companies that are going to be dropping. We also have like some key players that have been really, really strong market performers also dropping, like SanDisk, Seagate, and things like that. So it's going to be a very, very active week in the markets. So hopefully you guys will be able to catch some really good moves. And then for those of you guys that are part of my community on Discord, I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., where we will have our pre-market analysis. And hopefully we will be able to catch some wins. So have a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys when I see ya. And then, Nylene, if you do your analysis on ES, like I said, if you drop it before 8, I'll be more than happy to take a look at it and see what we've got. But anyway, have yourself a wonderful weekend. And Apex is also running a really, really good deal on activation fees right now. So you might want to take a look into that. And you're more than welcome, Regina. Good to have you here. All right, guys. I love you guys. It's 12:30 where I'm at. I'm going to go to bed after I trade Asia, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.